We are going to continue our introduction to algebra by talking more about expressions. In this video, we're going to talk about how to evaluate, or what it means to evaluate algebraic expressions. So we have learned that algebraic expressions contain variables, which is an unknown amount. Evaluating the expression means that we substitute a number for the variable and then solve the expression. So for example, our expression is x minus 8. We want to evaluate this expression. What would we get if x were 15? So to do this, you're just going to rewrite your expression, and instead of x, you're going to replace x with the 15. So it would become 15 minus 8. And then you solve like normal. 15 minus 8 is 7. So when x is 15, we get 7 as our answer. We get a value of 7. Come over to our next one. 24 divided by n. We want to evaluate this expression if n were 8. So we're going to rewrite it. And I'm going to be specific. I know you can do this in your head. That's not the point. The point is for you to show that you know what it means to evaluate the expression, that you know that you need to substitute 8 for n. So I want to see you rewriting the expression 24 divided by, and instead of n, we substitute the 8. Then just do the math. 24 divided by 8 equals 3. This can be done with decimals. Don't be scared of decimals or fractions. Okay, 5/10 y, that means 5/10 times y. Let's evaluate this expression if y were equal to 1 2/10. So we're going to rewrite our expression, and instead of y, we're going to put 1 2/10. We're going to substitute the 1 2/10. Now remember, this means to multiply. So we need to show that this is multiplication, and the easiest way is to put it in parentheses. And if you'll recall, to multiply decimals, forget about the decimals. Take them out. If we take them out, we have 5 times 12. And 5 times 12 equals 60. Go back in. There's one decimal place in this factor. There's one decimal place in this factor. That's a total of 2. So we need 2 decimal places. So our answer is going to be 6/10. Pretty easy, right? Let's try the next one. 9 times k. We want to evaluate this expression and see what we would get if k were 1/3. So let's substitute 1/3 for k. 9 times, and k is 1/3. Now recall, to multiply fraction and a whole number, the whole number has to be turned into a fraction. Multiply your numerators together. 9 times 1 is 9. Multiply your denominators together. 1 times 3 is 3. And simplify. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. To evaluate expressions that have more than one variable or more than one operation, you first substitute the given value for each variable and then solve using order of operations. So in our first example, we have 4 times the group of x minus 4. We want to evaluate this and see what we would get if x were 9. So let's rewrite. We're going to write 4 parentheses, and we're going to substitute 9 for x. So it becomes 9 minus 4. Order of operations, write it down. PEMDAS says that we need to do our parentheses first. So we're going to do 9 minus 4. So we're going to rewrite. 9 minus 4 is 5. And now we have multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20. And there's your answer. X squared minus x for when x is equal to 8. So let's rewrite our expression, substitute 8 wherever you see an x. So instead of x squared, it becomes 8 squared minus, instead of x, we substitute an 8. And then solve. PEMDAS says that we need to do our exponent first, so 8 squared is 64. Then we subtract. 64 minus 8 equals 56. And the last example, wx. When you have 2 letters next to each other like that, that operation is multiplication. So it's w times x minus y. We want to evaluate the expression if w were 4, x is 5, and y is 6. So let's rewrite. Instead of a w, we're going to substitute 4 times, Instead of x, we're going to substitute a 5. Minus, and instead of y, we're going to substitute a 6. PEMDAS says to do multiplication and division first. 4 times 5 is 20. Bring down the minus 6. Now subtract. 20 minus 6 is 14. That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, you're ready for your independent practice.